Now at 5, guilty on all counts, Donald Trump becomes the first former U.S. president convicted of a crime. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us on KCAL News at 5 on CBS Los Angeles. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Chauncey Glover. We are also streaming live on CBS News Los Angeles. Well, tonight, a New York City jury finding former President Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. The jury finding that Trump violated the law by falsifying those business records to cover up a $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels right before the 2016 election.
And we have team coverage of this historic verdict, starting with KCAL News political reporter Tom Waite. He's in the newsroom now with all the latest for us. Tom, good evening.
Hey, good evening to you, Pat and Chauncey. Well, as you said, and it's so important to reiterate, the crux of this case is that former President Donald Trump hid the payment to adult former film actress Stormy Daniels to corrupt the 2016 election, and the jury found him guilty. It took the jury almost 10 hours to reach their verdict. Trump was charged with falsifying business records in connection with money his former fixer Michael Cohen paid adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election to keep her quiet about the alleged sexual encounter. Prosecutors argue that Trump reimbursed Cohen but disguised the payments as legal expenses amounting to a criminal scheme to corrupt the election. The prosecution's star witness, that's Cohen, testified Trump personally approved the plan to disguise the payments. Cohen, who is a convicted felon himself, faced intense grilling by the defense, who attacked his credibility and his motives. Jurors also got to hear from Stormy Daniels, who offered graphic details about her 2006 encounter with Trump, which Trump denies. Trump spoke shortly after the verdict was read.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Sentencing is scheduled for July 11th. That is just a few days before the Republican National Convention. The Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, also spoke briefly after the verdict.
While this defendant may be unlike any other in American history, we arrived at this trial and ultimately today at this verdict in the same manner as every other case that comes through the courtroom doors, by following the facts and the law and doing so without fear or favor.
A slew of top GOP officials have already come to Trump's defense, including former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy of Bakersfield, who said in a post that the case was a weaponization of the justice system, echoing what many other top GOP elected officials are saying in the wake of the verdict. Chauncey?
Tom, thank you. Joining